The video gonna be about old Michael Franzese. Oh, Michael Franzese. Now I watch him. He used to be mobster. Now he's a minister. Is that really different than the preachers and the pimps and the players and the pushers? But I gotta remember though, Godfather style, so it gets a pass. I guess I don't know. He's entertaining. I don't agree with him politically, and I don't know all this Trump love. I get it, but we're not gonna go there. But anyway, now he's jumping on the celebrity bodyguards. He's all wondering about Diddy. As if you don't know. Who are we kidding? You were in an association that controlled the music industry. Am I supposed to believe that you didn't know with all the connections that went on back in the day? Oh, yeah, and I remember what you said about Michael Jackson, about how he had no choices about in 84 with the Victory Tour and all that. I read the quote. I read the lingo. I know about the ties and stuff. Cracks me up. Now, I watch the show and I can respect parts, but when we talk about the music industry, the R&B black side of the industry, we know how it went down with the mob. We know how the industry works with the music industry. We don't have to just think about we'll make them an offer you can't refuse. We don't have to know what Sinatra and everybody and how the whole game went down. We don't have to understand how it all goes down and the connections, the correlation with Brunswick Records. The Sopranos did an episode on that and how that was ran and based, and so much others. Because there's a lot of stories which are all connected, and it wasn't that long ago. And people acted like that all coy. So now he's got the celebrity bodyguard on, and I respect that cat. But I do have a problem after a while with bodyguards doing all the book deals, all the talking. Sometimes it's cool, and sometimes it can be a bit much. But when the bodyguards, the Suge Knight made being a former bodyguard the end thing to be. And then you end up becoming CEO, and then when did this become fashionable? I want to know. But everybody got all this insight to everything they saw and did. You have to sit on that. But ain't you an accomplice? And it cracks me up how Michael Franzese, I'm trying to figure out, are you going to be Geraldo Rivera? Or are you going to turn into Chris Cuomo? You going to be this journalist now? You enlightened. Like you hadn't heard most of this stuff. But when it reveals itself, and you bring Suge Knight, you bring these other people on to talk about stuff that people in the streets had kind of heard about. Let me tell you a story that I always tell a friend of mine. I've lived in different places in different parts. And if I heard it just walking down the street, kicking a can down the street, how do you think that they don't hear about it in Hollywood or New York? How does that not drop in the if I could hear it just on the side of the roads in some small abandoned places that you probably don't even hear of or even know why. But anyway, I'm listening to him and it's like, oh wow, he's like revealing all that. But it's nothing that hasn't been known. He always asks, well, how come? Because I was in my line of work, I wasn't as protected as this, because the music industry is an interesting juggernaut. And the thing is unlike your line of work, they steam their artists to make the money. But when the money go funny, or when they start to get kind of big headed and they start to think that they're the big boss. See, one thing about the street rules of Franzese's world was different than the music industry is this. Franzese wasn't dumb enough to do like Diddy did and boast in front of the boss, try to stand over the boss. There was a pyramid to it. Yeah. In the music industry, they put you in the boutique in the window and you are in the pyramid, but they give this the Lulu that you are bigger than who's your boss. And they sell it. And if you go for the bait, they have a way of breaking you down. That's what's happening with Diddy. That's what happened with R. Kelly. Anybody get all it ain't about the crimes. It's about they started dropping dimes. Their money went funny. They went thinking they were bigger than they were, and they had to be taught a lesson. They don't do that in Michael Franzese's line of work, because in Michael Franzese's line of work, you do anything that you know what happened in the trunk in Goodfellas. I ain't got to tell you about that. You let your imagination work. And plus, people ain't that crazy like that. And back in the day, the old mobsters, except for John Gotti, most of the times when the cats caught something, they was old and past the pull date on the street. So they were 70, 80 years old by the time they caught real charges. Kind of like what they did in Italy recently with that one cat that was on the low. They catch him later on. Then when you black, you get caught when you're in your 50s. Think about it when they catch up to it. But anyway, it cracks me up how now he's all because that's what sells. The Diddy stories sell. And just like, that's just what it is. You can't sell nothing without talking about hip hop. You don't even have to be a fan of it. But he knows that that's going to bring in the numbers. And I ain't hating. I'm just stating. But I'm watching him with the celebrity bodyguard, which is hilarious to me because that is what's the selling point. Black celebrity bodyguards are running this game right now as we speak. Bodyguards got books out. Bodyguards got stories. That's where it's at. They went from protecting your body to break and loot for their body and making themselves into a somebody. Can you say that 3 times? Good Lord, help me out. Hit me one time in the name of James Brown. They went from protecting your body to putting out books and getting social media to become somebody, which they always was. But the most notorious bodyguard was Mr. T. But Mr. T didn't talk like these turkeys do. These cats got stories. Some of them are accessories. It's going to be a fine line what the feds decide to do. But they all connect the dots to a whole lot of the same people. And they all got stories they sit on because everybody knows it's just a game. It's a chess match. It's not checkers. But when the game gets played, it is like checkers because everyone gets jumped and they look to get crowned until boom, somebody else got to be answered to. So keep your eyes on it. But I'm just observing when I watch his show. That's the direction he's going in. And he knows where the bag is because Diddy's gonna keep those wine bottles that he's trying to sell floating for quite a while. And his line of work, you know how things float. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another, and share the video if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, and hit that membership. I'm out one time. Peace.